Hello, good afternoon. This is Celia Lacayo, Associate Director of Community Engagement and Professor in the Chicana Central American Studies as well as the African American Studies Department. Today we have a real treat for you, an amazing UCLA alumni from theater and television, Rafael Agustín, who is a TV writer and CEO of the Latino Film Institute. Hi, Rafael, how are you today?
Hey, good to see you this morning.
Well, let's get underway. Can you tell us, what got you curious and involved as a younger person with theater and television?
So I think like a lot of immigrant families that come to this country, we use entertainment as escapism. My parents were no different, and I would just get wrapped up watching movies with my parents all the time. Luckily, when you're learning English, you could just watch action movies because you don't have to translate kicking ass. And then when I got to community college, funny enough, it was my immigration problems that landed me in the arts and in the theater world because I didn't know how long I was gonna have the immigration problems and dilemmas that I had at the time. I didn't know how long they were gonna last. So at community college, I started taking every class in the course catalog, from biology to chemistry, all the way up to the T's, which was theater, and I stumbled onto it.
Wonderful. So, as a UCLA alumni, how was your experience at UCLA? What are some of the things that you learned and really stuck with you?
UCLA was great for me because it opened my eyes to what the industry was going to be like. It truly took a Latino professor to take me under his wing for me to like finish my experience at UCLA. Jose Luis Valenzuela, who teaches in the Chicano studies and in the theater department, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have been able to finish out my UCLA experience. It was interesting because I was doing more of the acting at the time. I got an acting scholarship to go to UCLA, and I wasn't getting cast in many things. So I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then when the school decided to do a play called Short Eyes, which was a prison drama, I got the lead role. And I was like, wait, hold up. Hold on, wait a second. I could be the lead role in Sing Sing, but I can't be the lead role in like Shakespearean England, in Victorian England. And that's when I actually made the switch in my head and realized that I needed to write myself into existence. And I needed to do my part to write our communities of color into existence. And that's really how I got started. I got started in this industry by learning to write, learning to share my story, learning to craft my voice. And all that happened to me while I was at UCLA.
Oh, wonderful. This is a good segue into the next question. Why is it important to increase Latinx visibility and telling Latinx stories in TV and film? And specifically, what has been your role and contributions?
Oh, wow. I mean, if you don't see yourself represented in film and TV, it's another form of like symbolic annihilation, right? You don't exist, and that's how tragedies like the mass shooting that happened in El Paso, Texas, happens when people see other folks from from their community as the other, as invaders, as like these foreign like herds of people trying to take over our country. We're all one community. This is one nation. It's all of our nation, and I think with the lack of representation on TV, you're just feeding that narrative that we're not American or that we're not part of this country. That's on one end. How I've addressed that is by doing my best to bring real and authentic stories to the screen. I mean, the great honor of my life was being able to write on Jane the Virgin for several seasons, and I definitely like fought to tell like authentic stories on behalf of like not just Latinos but immigrants and my Catholic guilt upbringing and me having had been a former undocumented American as well. I was able to share all of that on that show.
That's very impressive. We know that Jane the Virgin was an amazing show and garnered so much accolades, and it was great that you were a part of that. So what are some of the new projects you're currently working on? What's the new direction you're going in? And then what is your advice for a Latinx person to break into TV and film projects?
So I divide my time right now into two parts. My heart in giving back to the community, and then my ego that just wants to make a lot of money in the industry. So as far as like the work that I do with the community, I'm very proud to be the CEO of the Latino Film Institute, which was founded by actor and activist Edward James Olmos. With the Latino Film Institute, I oversee three major programs. The first one is the Youth Cinema Project, which is a statewide project-based learning film education program. We essentially took film graduate school and put it in elementary school. And it's quite incredible to see the impact that this program is having in marginalized communities in particular because of the social emotional empowerment that it creates. And then we also do the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival, LALIF, which is arguably the most important Latino film festival in the United States. And lastly, we do Latinx in Animation, which is a program that runs year-round to help not just Latinx animators, but all animators of color in the industry who want to like meet other people and try to get jobs and stuff. So that's what I do with the Latino Film Institute, and we're having great impact, and we're actually doing our part at bringing color to Hollywood in a way. And then separately, I still write. I haven't stopped writing. I just sold 2 TV shows that I can't talk about. That they've been blessings in my life. 2 books that I adapted for television that I'm very proud of and very eager to share. I also got a book deal, which I couldn't believe, to tell my story as a former undocumented American. So I think by next summer, we're going to be dropping the first ever comedic undocumented memoir.
Wow, this is really important. Again, you're telling stories about immigrants, undocumented folk, often things we have not seen and clearly need to see. We're so proud of all of the achievements, particularly as a UCLA alumni, and we thank you so much for your time today. So again, this is Celia Lacayo. Remember to subscribe to LA Social Science. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.